While we're here, let's quickly ask him about the drugs as well, since we have to investigate the roundabout.
Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body.
He takes a long drag on his cigarette. Why not?
You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre, Ilmara. They take the money from our local junkies here and then use it to outcompete us in the manufacturing sector. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage, racial economic sabotage.
Okay, hold on, but they make Al Ghul alcohol in Ilmara too? I was told they do. So I take it you're not smuggling drugs out of Martinez. Listen, I agree, it's our responsibility to keep this poison off the streets of Revachol, right? That's all I needed to know. Now let me ask you something else. I'll go with the first one here. Al Ghul?
I don't go for that foreign piss. Proper booze is made in Mundi. Or sometimes I like a dram of that Yugograd vodka. Koikos and worse much, but they do no booze.
Okay, listen, I agree. It's our responsibility to keep that poison off the streets of Revachol, right?
Look, I'm gonna be straight with you since you're my kin. I don't know shit, and if I did, I wouldn't tell you. You're a cop. I'm not an idiot.
He puffs on a cigarette. Then what are you still hanging around here for? Most other camionneurs have left.
What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night. If they touch my stuff, the bosses will be on my ass like ass cancer.
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
I did see one lorry with the trailer doors open on my way here. Do you know what happened?
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Wheeling in Rags when some kip boys smashed his lock and took damn near everything. Lost his fucking job over it. Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to.
Bad for him, I guess, or served him right. Bad for him, I guess.
It's a fucking travesty, is what it is.
If it's not you, then who's running drugs through Terminal B?
Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling drugs as well.
Who's that?
He's a Samaran guy who likes to pretend he's some kind of businessman. Really, he's just selling his employer stuff. Stuff he stole after he broke the seals on his Humanox lorry.
Where do I find him?
Just follow the smell. It smells like apricot and oil when you're nearby.
The lorryman lets out a raspy croak at his own sense of humor. So yeah, since we probably won't get the encyclopedia check that tells us that, he's from Seaguy, which also has the derogatory term apricot suzerainty attached to it. You know, kind of like Banana Republic and stuff like that. So that's why apricots here. Okay.
Yes, yes. Where is he?
Looks like I offended your partner there. Too bad. Sealang's usually a little bit south of here, near the canal. You can't miss him. Just watch yourselves. His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood. He's your man, all right. 100%.
I wouldn't be
thing.
so sure about it. Not until we've heard what Sealang himself has to say.
I guess we need to pay Sealing a visit then.
Guess so.
See you around. Okay, do we take a do we get sidetracked by that, or do we just quickly see if Gary is in here? I don't know if Gary isn't here. Can we visit him at his place, or did we miss our opportunity to talk to him? let's go for it. Let's run. Let's run across here and see if we can still find Gary. Come on, there we go. Run across here and into the yard over here. There we go. Let's see, can we knock and get to talk to him again? Ah.
The spread pattern of these bullet holes makes your chest ache. Your breath grows heavier.
Let's examine closer.
You peer into the faded marks in the stone. They peer back like an endless row of tiny black holes. Sweat starts trickling down your brow.
This is bad mojo, man! Fucking horrible mojo! The end draws near!
Your chest feels tight
great.
looking at them. It's closing in, caving in, ever tighter. Your breathing grows even heavier.
You okay there?
Breathe out sharply. Huh? Yeah, I'm fine. Man, I started feeling really bad for a second. I'll go with this, with the second one here.
Might be the after effects of your past escapades. What are you looking at?
These bullet holes look like the bullet holes we saw before.
Bullet holes generally look the same, so probably. But you're right. More old bullet holes from the revolution.
Man, how many people got shot during that revolution?
Plenty.
Okay, let's see. Can we enter? Well, we're gonna get that thought later, I suppose. Is Gary not here? Are they they're not still over there, right? There's still the mug collection. Nothing else seems to be here. Now what is this?
Master Investigator, you just can't keep yourself away from locked and hidden places, can you?
What do you mean?
Nothing. You're right. Get in there. Deep. Invade every personal space. Break every lock.
I'm just browsing. It is my duty as a cop to investigate every square inch of the world. Hey, I'm not some sort of a peeper. Let's go with the second one here.
Attaboy, the world's secrets were made for you. They wait patiently for you to uncover them.
Okay, a new thought. The Jamrock Shuffle. Temporary research bonus. -1 is pre-decor. Confusing behavior for 1 hour and 5 minutes. By now it's clear you like to look inside containers. You like to open doors and see what's behind them. Maybe secrets, maybe more juicy containers. Let's be honest, you like all containers. Trash cans, utensil trays, manholes, coat pockets, secret containers left behind by the Philippian kings that hold forbidden relics. Okay, you haven't come across one of those yet, but one day. Wait, is that why you're so hell-bent on opening containers? Do you think you'll find the Holy Scepter and the Orbe de Montagne? Okay, interesting. I don't know if I want to trade anything out at the moment. I think we're good so far. And this one I'm not going to equip here either, I think. The others are more interesting. Again, magnesium-based lifeform and Detective Cousteau are most likely to get removed, though magnesium lifeform is very useful because of the volition. But that's for later. I suppose we can check over at the place where they're looking for the Phasmid, if they're still there. Otherwise, I don't know where Gary would be. But I guess we can look around and maybe we'll run into him eventually if he's not over there yet. Then we can talk to the lorry drivers. And afterwards, maybe then we'll talk to Measurehead before going back to Evrard, maybe for another time. Let's take a look at the map. Let's go to, I think it's closer to the Fisherman Shacks than to the church. Though I don't think either of them are far. Also, wasn't there something we wanted to... Yes, there was something we wanted to talk to Little Lily about. Right.
Hello, mister.
The net picker's daughter waves at you. I heard there was a girl here who has armored gloves. Is that you?
Oh, I had gloves. Very big ones. Heavy, too.
Where did you get these gloves?
Found them when Lemmy and I were playing hide and seek. In an empty house. Where no one lives. I think someone hid them there.
She doesn't want you to think she stole them.
And where are the gloves now?
I hid them. The twins were gonna take them. They're stupid.
She lifts her stuffed toy up and looks into its one remaining eye, as though searching for confirmation.
We are going to need those gloves. It's for important police business.
He enunciates the last two words carefully.
Oh.
She doesn't seem to understand, but the lieutenant's tone has conveyed to her the important part.
They're in my sandcastle. Behind our house. Under the sand. You can break the castle. It's not very good.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye!
The girl's large, curious eyes remain fixed on you. Okay, let's leave. Let us leave, and if possible, come on, let's walk, break that sandcastle, and get our gloves.
Weather has not been kind to Lily's little sandcastle. The once mighty towers are quickly eroding away. You can see something shining back to you from what must have been a vast underground catacomb network.
Broken.
The little castle? The reigning lord must have come upon some really tough times to let it sleep in such decrepitude.
Let's reach in the catacombs and pull out the shiny object.
The walls and floors give way to the giant's greed, collapse and present you with a pair of ceramic gauntlets.
Congratulations. That's the gauntlets down then. We're doing good on the armor collection front.
Hell yeah. Let's take a look at them real quick. Because, yeah, +2 interfacing, strength in digits. Clenching and unclenching a fist has never been so fun. The tiny ceramic blades make a lovely clicking sound when your fingers move. The gloves are a bit sandy, but the grip is phenomenal. Let's equip them. Pretty good, pretty good. Do we also put on the boots? Neutralize our authority, I suppose? We'll keep the perception boots for now. Those seem useful in, you know, regular situations. More so than the authority boots that reduce our composure. Though, of course, reduced composure is also fun. Are they still here, or have they left? They are still here. Let's talk to Gary then.
Always a pleasure to see an officer of the law. I mean, officers.
Gary, do you know how to turn back time?
Do I know how to turn back time? Is that a trick question?
Are you still pursuing this?
The lieutenant gives you a tired look. Yes, this is important.
More important than our murder investigation?
Now, that's a trick question, right? Right, Gary? Wink at him. Potentially more important than anything ever before. I guess not. Let's go with the first one because it just seems more asshole-ish.
Ugh. Yeah, I guess.
He shrugs, looking confused.
Make it quick. And the question was rhetorical, not a trick.
Make what quick? You're asking me about time travel. Is this some kind of a trick?
I'm all out of tricks, Gary. Tell me what you know. Yes, Gary, a trick. Now humor me. I'm all out of tricks, Gary.
Phew. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, of course there are theories out there.
What kind of theories are we talking about here?
Well, there's a very interesting cryptid known as the Semper Ma, and a certain tribe of ancient kits who practice digital castigation. Though, frankly, I don't know how compelling you'll find that theory. And then you hear rumors that the Sealites possess technology that actually lets them move through time like it's a corridor. Back and forth, you see.
Tell me about this cryptid, the Semper Ma.
Cryptids, actually. It's a so-called colonial animal, presenting as a large singular body when in actuality, it's a congregation of tiny organisms working in unison.
Like a man-o-war.
It's found in the subtropical jungles of Samara. Extremely difficult to spot as it appears to the untrained eye like common mud. It's thought to be impossible to catch and very dangerous.
Wait, it looks like mud?
Yes, it blends in with the jungle floor. Unsurprisingly, it's become the subject of many local myths. Some have even described it as an angry forest spirit or a manifestation of the forest itself.
How dangerous is it?
I once heard a story about a whole village disappearing overnight without a trace. Can you imagine that? Just a large patch of mud where the settlement was.
Yes, vividly. No, I'm sorry, but I can't. I don't want to imagine that. I've seen the sky cry blood while everything turns to vapor. I think I can manage, Gary. Let's go with that one.
Yes, that's also horrible. I mean in a much grander scale. Exactly what happened to that village? Whole area is completely abandoned now. Locals won't even go near it. They swear the mud writhes and occasionally grows strange shapes.
Terrifying.
It gets even scarier. You see, the Semper Ma has also evolved a curious defensive mechanism. When threatened, it has the ability to revert back to an earlier stage in its own life cycle. It may even be able to do this continually, ad infinitum. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. It's believed that the mechanism by which the Semper Ma reverts actually reverses the flow of time itself.
Okay.
By about 4.5 seconds.
Great stuff there. Great stuff. Hang on, I still don't see how this immortal mud monster is gonna help me turn back time.
Well, you see, the fascinating thing about it is that this temporal reversion is said to extend to anything touching the Semper Ma at the moment of reversal.
So if I cover myself with this sentient mud,
And attack it over and over again, you could theoretically punch your way back to the Franco-Nigerian era.
Like an exoskeleton, powered by fear.
seems like a dick move. Very well, this Semper Ma will pull my ox cart through the ages. There's balance in nature, Gary. Man was not meant to play God. Very well, this Semper Ma will pull my ox cart through the ages.
Assuming you survive the encounter. But that's way down the line, of course.
Okay, I'm convinced. What's our next step?
Well, first we'd need to secure funding for an expedition, then assemble a team, gather supplies. There's probably a million other little things. But with the resources of the RCM behind you, it could be feasible.
That would take forever. Isn't there just like a pill I could take or something? What else have you got? No, let's say the first thing.
I haven't really heard of any time travel pills, officer.
He rubs his chin, thinking.
And personally, it seems easier than accessing deep secret SEAL-like technology and more civilized than digital castigation. But to each his own.
You really think the Sealites can really move through time?
Well, how else did they get so far ahead of everyone in the tech race?
Okay, yeah, how did you guys get so far ahead? Turn to the lieutenant. By working longer and harder than everyone else, by funneling a large percentage of their country's budget to research, by all joining in solidarity, everyone doing their part to keep the big machine moving, by letting the free market dictate the course of technological progress, isolation obviously, keeping Seoul for Seolites very motivating. Strange, I don't have a clue. Oof, bunch of rough stuff there. I'm gonna go with the first one. Kim is gonna hate me for it.
No part of me is part of this conversation. Oh no. That's a special thing you two are enjoying with each other.
Everything's cool. Nothing wrong with a little speculative inquiry. But really, officer, how do you explain how the Seolites developed such a lead over the rest of us?
Isolation, obviously, keeping Seoul for Seolites, very motivating.
I don't know. Sounds a bit incestuous to me. But sure, none of my business. I'm not a Seolite, but no way that's the reason they're winning the race.
Wait, what kind of technological advantages are we talking about?
Come on, officer. Everybody knows about it. The stuff they've got, most people here can't even dream of it.
You're right, I can't even begin to imagine what you're talking about.
Believe me, it's there. Technology's so advanced, it defies description.
He's avoiding your gaze.
But that's nothing. Just wait till you learn how they've managed to get so far ahead of us.
How then?
Isn't it obvious? Someone's been feeding them a little trickle of tech down from someplace no one else can reach.
From the blue door and the whirling, from the pale, from the future? I'm gonna say it for fun.
The blue? No, the future. The Sealites are helping themselves from the future. And every little incremental improvement they receive in the present has major ripples all along the timeline.
Okay.
That creates a loop, right? The more advanced tech they send here, the more advanced they become in the future. Which means that by smuggling ever more advanced tech down to the past, I'm sure you can see where this is heading.
Wait, so how did they start the loop in the first place?
Now that is a paradox.
He smiles an all-knowing smile, like he just explained everything. Then we have already lost. Look down at your clenched fist. Yes, that's the only explanation that makes sense. Gary, that's insane. You are an insane man, sick in the head. You lost me there with the paradox. Let's go with the first one here.
I don't know, officer. I think future Revocol might also have a few aces up its own sleeve. The people are starting to wake up, you see.
God, I hope he meant it sarcastically. If not, I don't really see how he can continue being a police detective.
Yeah, Kim, you're right. You're right.
Though I suppose this still doesn't help you manipulate time personally. Perhaps you should consider digital castigation.
What's this digital castigation?
Well, essentially it's a grief ritual practiced by certain ancient Seminese tribes. Traditionally, after the death of a village leader, the bereaved are supposed to cut off a segment of their own fingers.
Okay.
What makes it really disturbing is the fact that they bite off bits of their children's fingers too. Even babies. Imagine that.
What does any of this have to do with turning back time, Gary? You know what? That's enough for me. Now, how does that have anything to do with turning back time?
I'm getting there. See, the practice is derived from Seminese finger counting. Each segment of the finger represents 1 hour, so they count up to 12 with one hand, disregarding the thumb, of course. By removing one segment from their fingers, they remove the corresponding hour from their life. That's what they believe, anyway.
So you're saying if I cut off both my hands, I can go back to yesterday?
No. There's a discrepancy between how these Seminese tribes count and how they tell time. As I explained, they count up to 12 on their fingers, but they divide the day into 15 parts. But that's a whole other discussion.
This wouldn't help me even if I was even if it was remotely believable. Gary, you owe me at least a finger or two for all my time you've wasted. I guess I'll have to keep looking. This wouldn't help me. No, let's go with the second one.
Oh, well, this is embarrassing, but I'm really not sure what else to tell you.
Gary, none of this sounds like realistic options.
I don't know what to tell you, officer. I got all my information straight from Truth Hunt. If you can't believe a radio program called Truth Hunt, who can you believe?
Yeah. Of course.
This guy has proved to be a dead end. A dissatisfied growl in your abdomen. But the hard endure, and the true Kingsman keeps searching. Viance, Bruder. The night is darkest before the dawn.
Okay then. And what was this thought bubble? It's almost impossible to get a fire going this near to the ocean. Okay. You haven't returned home yet?
We'll be on our way soon. Thank you again for lending a hand.
Did you know Gary was hiding the armor?
Hell no. I had no idea. And I'm still cross with him, to be honest. It's not like him. He's got his quirks, but dishonesty, disloyalty are not one of them.
Thanks.
The man mutters in the distance. He doesn't dare say more.
He's still glad his friend stood up for him.
I'll get going. Okay, let's return to the roundabout, I guess, and let's talk to Sealing about, you know, who is smuggling drugs. We can go across here. Okay, that's fine then. Let's push on. Is this the right way to go? Yes, it is. Very good. And with that, that takes us to the Martinez waterfront. We should also talk to this guy here.